All right, we're about to dive into something we see every single day but maybe don't really think about. The very skin you're in. But, it's not just a simple covering. Today, we're taking a journey into the epidermis, the top layer that's basically our body's living, breathing armor.
I mean, have you ever really stopped to think about it? What's going on in there? Who are the players? What are the building blocks that create this amazing shield between us and, well, everything else? We're going to pull back the curtain on that today.
So, let's properly meet the star of our show, the epidermis. This is our front line. It's our personal interface with the world, and it is absolutely jam-packed with a whole team of specialized cells working around the clock to keep us safe.
And get this, here's a little bit of trivia for you. The epidermis doesn't even have its own blood vessels. Nope, it's totally dependent on the layer just beneath it, the dermis, for all its nutrients. It's a fascinating little detail that really shows how interconnected everything is.
Okay, so to really get what the epidermis is all about, you've got to meet the residents. And this isn't just a boring brick wall. It's more like a super busy factory, staffed by a highly specialized crew. So let's meet the team, shall we?
And if you look at the workforce, well, it's not exactly an even split. A massive 90% of the cells are these things called keratinocytes. That tells you right away that their main job, building the structure, is priority number one. The other 10%, that's your melanocytes and a few other specialists, they play these absolutely critical supporting roles. It's a perfectly balanced team.
So let's break this incredible team down. First up, the big ones, the keratinocytes. These are our builders, our brick layers. They pump out this tough protein called keratin, which gives our skin its strength. Then you've got the melanocytes. Think of them as the sunshade installers. They produce melanin. That's the pigment that gives skin its color, but more importantly, it absorbs damaging UV rays. Then, in that tiny but mighty 2%, you find the security guards, the Langerhans cells, part of the immune system always on lookout for invaders. And finally, the Merkel cells are the messengers, hooking up to our nervous system to give us our sense of touch. What a crew, right? Now let's go see their workshop.
All right, we've met the team. Now let's take a tour of the building they work in. We're going to take a trip from the very bottom of the epidermis all the way up to the surface. It's kind of like going up an elevator in a skyscraper, where every single floor has its own special job.
Our tour is a 5-story climb, and we're going to hit every single one. We'll start down in the basement, the basal layer, then head up through the spiny and granular layers. We'll check out a special, kind of exclusive floor called the lucid layer, and then finish up at the penthouse, the corneal layer. Each one is a critical step in a skin cell's life. So, let's start at the bottom.
Okay, here we are, ground floor, the basal layer. You can think of this as the factory floor or the nursery. This is where it all begins. It's just a single layer of cells, but this is where our keratinocytes are constantly dividing, making new cells. This non-stop production is the engine that drives the whole renewal of our skin, always pushing the older cells up.
Heading up one level, we get to the spiny layer. The cells that were just born downstairs get pushed up here, and they start linking together, forming this strong, spiky-looking framework. It's not just for show. This structure creates these tiny little channels so all those important nutrients from the dermis can keep flowing upward.
Next up, the third floor, the granular layer. This is like the packaging and processing center. The cells are getting ready for their final mission up on the surface. They start to flatten out, they get tougher, but they also begin a process of, well, shutting down. They lose their internal parts as they get jam-packed with all that keratin.
Now, before we hit the roof, there's this weird exclusive level, the lucid layer. This is a special extra floor you only have in the thickest skin on your body. Go on, look at the palms of your hands and think about the soles of your feet. That extra bit of toughness comes from this clear, flattened layer of cells, right where we need it most. Pretty cool, huh?
And finally, here we are, the top floor, the corneal layer. This is the roof of our building. This is the skin you actually see and touch every day. It's layer after layer of flattened, dead cells, just packed to the brim with keratin. This is the final destination, the tough, protective shield that stands between you and the rest of the world.
Okay, so let's zoom out and take a look at the big picture. We've met the workers, we've toured all 5 floors of the factory. So what? Why is this whole complicated system so important?
There's a line from the source material that just nails it perfectly. It's all about this constant cycle. The skin you have right this second isn't the same skin you had last month. It's a system that is constantly being torn down and rebuilt from the ground up every single day.
So when you put it all together, what is the epidermis? Well, it's our body's mission control. It's that tough physical barrier, thanks to the keratinocytes. It's a self-renewing machine, all thanks to that engine in the basal layer. It's our personal built-in sunscreen, courtesy of the melanocytes. And it's how we feel the world, thanks to those Merkel cells. It does all of this all the time without us ever having to think about it.
It's really incredible to think about all that complex machinery humming along on a surface we totally take for granted. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If there's this much going on right on the very surface, just imagine what other incredible systems are at work, just beneath, silently keeping us going every single day.